Welcome, welcome to the Epitome of Success. This is a program to show you how to create the ultimate author success, and assuming that's what you desire. And as we dive into this, what I suggest that you do is really pay attention. This is your starting point. During this welcome and orientation class, I'm going to be covering off what is the epitome of success for you as an author. In other words, what's possible. I'm going to explain to you how you can get your questions answered while you're going through the program, a recommendation on how to follow through, a suggestion to dedicate a journal or a notepad for this entire program so that you can track all of your notes. And I'm also going to talk about another session that I'm going to suggest that you watch next. And this is the session where you're going to set your goals or set your accomplishments. And I will recommend that you get yourself an accountability partner, and you'll see why, and then suggest that you join the private Facebook group. So as I said, this is your welcome and your orientation class. Now, what is epitome, and why did this program get the name epitome? Well, epitome is a word that's described in the dictionary as something that is the best possible outcome or the best possible example of something. So if you're going to be an author, I believe the best thing to do is to become the epitome of success as an author, because it's possible. It's possible for you. It's possible for anyone. And the mere fact that you're here probably indicates that there's a little hint or maybe even a strong conviction or feeling of possibility for you to create the epitome of success in your life. But this is what I really want to help you do in your life, is create success as an author. If you're going to be an author, I believe it's important to really go all the way, because there's so many opportunities for you as an author. So while you're going through this program and all the important lessons during this program, what you're going to find is you'll likely have questions that you want addressed. So we've designed this program in a way that you can get your questions easily answered. So how do you get these questions easily answered? Well, there's two ways. One is you can join any of the open Q&A calls that will be delivered over the 90-day period. So for 3 months, you have access to me during the open Q&A calls, which are weekly. Once a month, we're going to have an hour-long call where you will be able to get any questions that you have related to this program addressed. Now, some of the questions you may have are going to be covered in extensive in some of the classes in extensive way during some of the classes. And if so, I may direct you to one of those classes. Okay. Now, another way that you can get your questions answered is by submitting your question in advance. So as you're going through the program and you find that you have a question, well, easy peasy. You go to your dashboard for the Epitome program, and in the top left-hand corner, there is a place that says ask a question, and you'll see it right here on the slide. I've copied it and did a little screenshot so that you can see what it looks like. It's a little green box that says ask a question. Click here and send Peggy a question to answer during the next Q&A call. And then what happens is we collect those questions, and they're addressed first during the open Q&A call. So you can either join the open Q&A call live or submit your question if you can't make the call live and then watch the recording. All of the Q&A calls will be recorded, and every single one of them will be placed on the dashboard within a day. Okay, so you'll be able to find the questions. Now, a suggestion for you as well is this: join the Q&A calls even if you don't have a question. Why? Because other people will have questions, and likely they're going to be questions that you may not have thought of, but you're going to benefit from the answer. So joining these calls is a very beneficial thing to do. Another reason why it can be a beneficial thing for you to join the Q&A calls is because you'll get to see the other authors that are in the program, and you'll be able to get a good idea of who they are and what they're doing based on their questions as well, so that you can interact with them later. So this is how you get your questions answered during the call. If you're looking for private mentoring with me, or you want one-on-one help, then that may be a possibility depending on availability. And you can certainly check in with us simply put in the question saying, hey, listen, I'd like to find out a little bit more about private mentoring. And if so, type in the question and we'll get back to you for sure. Okay, now follow through. Obviously, I mean, this one is so obvious, and I'm sure you get this. It just simply means that you're implementing what you're learning. So when you're going through this program, what you're going to discover is that I'm going to be making suggestions. And I suggest do them right away. Even in this particular welcome and orientation, I'm going to make a suggestion and I'm going to suggest that you do it right away. But in some of the other classes, like the goals class, which I'm going to suggest that you do next, I'm going to suggest that you follow through right away, immediately. Now, as you get into the author classes and you're learning a lot of information and you're discovering a lot of new ideas and strategies and concepts and steps, etc., what you may want to do is you may want to watch all the classes and then come back later and implement. It really is up to you how you're going to do it. But after this 90-day period is over, you'll still have access to the classes. And so you can go in there and check it out later. You'll have access for at least a year, maybe longer. And so what we'd love for you to do is to decide which way you're going to follow through, whether you're going to follow through as you're going through the program or whether you're going to come back later and watch the classes. But obviously, follow through is where you're going to create the success. And then what we'd love for you to do is once you complete your book, get it out there in the world, perhaps make it a bestseller or whatever other accomplishments that you've achieved as a result of following through, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear about your success. As you know, we have countless numbers of authors that we've been very blessed to serve over the years that have shared with us their success, what they've accomplished. And then we love telling other people about it too. So that can be a good thing for you as well. So please share in your success as you create success, following through the Epitome program. Then get a journal, like a special journal that you could dedicate just for this program. And as you're going through the classes, take some notes. If you hear something or you're inspired by an idea, write it down. And the truth is that the more you write down, the more you take notes, the more you will retain. Your retaining of the information is going to go up significantly when you take notes. Now, what you may want to do as well, and this is something that I personally do, is anytime I'm learning or in a program or studying, I will create a page in my journal of action items. These are the things that I'm going to follow through with. So you may want to do the same thing. I put my action items at the back of the book and I put my notes at the front of the book so that I know the back is where my action items are. And then as I follow through and do these action items, I'll check them off or write victory beside them. But either way, this is an effective way of really getting more from what you're studying and what you're learning. All right, so pre-class assignments. What you're going to see in the next class that I'm going to suggest that you watch are writing out and acknowledging what is it that you want to accomplish. What is it? What are your goals for this class? What are your desires? What it is that you'd really love to do. So make sure that you watch that class next and that you follow through and that you definitely set your objectives. Okay, you going to do it? I'm imagining you're saying yes. Okay, and in that class, you're going to find lots of instruction. It's not only going to cover off how to set goals, but it's also going to talk about how you can maintain the energy of feeling as if those goals are already done. So it's more about goals and goal accomplishment as well. So definitely watch that class next. And I'm going to suggest that you get yourself an accountability partner. What's an accountability partner? This is someone that you work with on a regular basis. I've been working with accountability partner now for a couple of decades. And what you will find is that your productivity will go way up if you do this effectively. So an accountability partner is somebody that you dedicate yourself to, and you make a commitment that every Sunday, and I do this every Sunday, I write out a list. It's like done in email, so it's really easy to do. And it's the list of the accomplishments for the week. And then you send it to your accountability partner. And then when you receive theirs, you acknowledge it and say, congratulations, way to go. This is all done. It's all done in the spirit of positivity. So you send them your list, they send you back their list. And then the next week, you do an update from the previous week. Now, let me show you what that might look like. Okay, I'm just going to give you a sample. Now, what this isn't is like a thing to do kind of thing. It's not like I'm going to pick up my dry cleaning, or I'm going to do the laundry, or get the groceries done. It's not those things. It's more along the line of this program and accomplishing certain things in this program. So here's a sample. And I've actually made this as an addendum or an attachment that you can also take a look at as well. So you can start it out by saying, okay, so it is with gratitude and joy that all these things have been accomplished easily this week. 1, determine the name of my book. 2, create an outline that could potentially be your table of contents. 3, write out a few words under each chapter as an overview of the content. 4, stay in harmony with the feeling of my accomplishments, knowing that they're already done. 5, create some tools that are reflective of my results. Do a mock-up business card with my name and the words New York Times bestseller following. So those are accomplishments, right? Those are all great things, positive things that will definitely take you in the direction of your goal. And then if you're sending it the second week and you've already done some things, then here's another list of what might have been from the previous week. You wrote down that you're going to go through the first few classes of the Epitome program. Okay, done. You did it. You're going to set your goals. Yes, already done. Found an accountability partner. Yes, you've secured your accountability partner. Scheduled all the Q&A calls that you've seen on the dashboard. They're scheduled into your agenda. Or start to think of creative ideas for books. Not yet. So there you go. That's an example. Now, it's always in the spirit of positivity. You may or may not accomplish everything that's on your list. You may not accomplish anything that's on your list. But what will happen is this. You'll get into a new habit, a habit of creating an accomplishment list, a habit that's a very positive and a powerful habit for you. Okay, so there you go. There's an idea. There's an example. Now, of course, you may have other things going on in your life that have nothing to do with your book. And if you want to put them on there, that's perfectly fine as well. Maybe you're, running a business and you're generating revenue, or there's other things that you're working on. And if so, put them on the list. The idea is to keep it simple. It's not going to be a gigantic list, usually a simple list. The other thing that I do when I create my accountability list is I'll look at my agenda and I'll make sure that I've allocated time to do these things. So this is another extra suggestion. It really keeps you organized. Now, in the course, there's going to be a class on effectively utilizing your time, productivity, etc. So we will have a class on that where I'll dive into that a little bit more, because a lot of people are, they're under a misguided belief that it takes years to write a book, and it doesn't. And I'm going to show you how to do it in record time. And then the other thing that I'm going to suggest is that you join the Facebook group. So for Epitome, we have created a private Facebook group, and you'll find a tab right on your dashboard. And so find that tab and then you request to join. Now, once you request to join that Facebook group, then somebody from my team is going to take a look. They have to verify that you're in the program, then they're going to accept you. Now, they're not sitting on Facebook 24/7, so it might take a little bit, might take a day or whatever. It depends on when you make the request. But once you join the Facebook group, introduce yourself. Let people know that you're there. This is where you can network with other authors in the program. It's not where you get your questions answered, so don't go there and post your questions. I've already mentioned how you get your questions answered, but you can go on there. You can make requests if you want. You could say, hey, somebody want to be my accountability partner? Or if you're looking for an editor. Now, we have resources as well, and you're going to find a resources tab, and we'll talk about that too. But go there. It's a place to socialize and a place to network. One of the blessings that I've discovered from being an author is that authors love helping other authors. They really do. And you may or may not have a following already. You may or may not have a website already, but you may end up connecting with other authors that do. And so when you're ready to launch your book, maybe they'll help you. And I'll get into that in detail when I get into the class on how to make your book a bestseller. But I suggest, with anything in life, this program, of course, have fun with it. The more fun, the more playful you are, the positive your attitude is, the better it's going to go. You're going to be far more creative. You're definitely going to get more done, and you're going to enjoy the journey. All right. So make sure you're in the spirit of having fun. No stress, no mess, right? Relax, enjoy, live in the joyous expectancy of the best, because that is exactly what you'll produce. You'll produce your best work. All right. So that's it for Welcome and Orientation. Head on over to watch the next pre-class assignment, and that is setting your goals, setting your accomplishments. Okay, I'll see you over there.